Good day. This is Richard of Guidance by Richard. I'm excited today for our feature of Meeting at the Crossroads. Today's guest speaker and the person we're planning to interview, a most astounding person. I'm honored to have her here on a talk, and that is Asia Carroll. Asia Carroll has an outstanding background, and she has so many things that she's involved with, and she's going to talk about. But in particular, a little bit about herself. She is into meditation. She teaches Reiki. She has sound healing, shadow work, life coach, and she is featured in many things. In particular, one we're going to talk about is Fab Over 40. So, Asia, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Great, great. So, Asia, tell us a little bit about yourself. I gave you a little snapshot, but I look at your background. You have so many things to talk about. But let me hear about you.
Sure. So my name is Asia Carroll, and I started my company in 2019. It's called Survivor Not by Chance. I've had a lot of challenges, and I dealt with a lot of trauma as a young adult and as a child. And so I wanted to find a way that I can teach people how to overcome their trauma and understand that they're not a product of their environment. And so I came up with we survive not by chance. We survive because we fought to survive. Now it's time for us to thrive. And so I teach my clients how to not only survive, be in survival mode, but how to get out of survival mode, how to deal with those tough things that bother them, that trigger them, and how they can overcome those obstacles. And it's been an amazing ride. I have clients across the country. I wrote a book about part of my journey that has sold in 12 countries. It's been such an amazing experience, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity.
That's amazing, amazing. So, tell me a little bit about, you mentioned the book that's over. Tell me a little bit about that book.
Sure. The name of my book is called The Pressures of Becoming a Diamond. I have a copy here. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay. So this book here is on Amazon. It's available on Amazon, and you can purchase it. Primarily, I talk about some of the challenges I had growing up in foster care, with my mom being addicted to drugs, and how I was able to overcome the emotional abuse that I was going through, the neglect, and some other things. And so basically, a lot of teenagers and adults read my book and they find healing in reading the book, because some of the things that we've experienced as children, we don't realize how it affects us as adults. So my goal was to show people, despite the obstacles that they've been through, they still can be a success in whatever way that they want to. I've had people who read the book in Finland, in India, um, Jamaica, and the story that I have resonates with people in other countries. And that's the most humbling thing for me, that I understand that my story is able to help other people across the world.
That is so amazing.
Thank
And
you.
like, is that, what is that, self-published, or how does
Yes,
that? Yeah.
I
Wow.
self-published.
What made you go that route?
I started with a publishing company and I ran into some issues. So I just said, you know what? I already had it on pre-order. Let me just write this, get it together, and give my people what they've been waiting for. And I self-published, self-edit, and just put it on the market. And it's been doing really well.
Wow, that's amazing. Very, very
Thank
inspiring.
you.
May I ask you a little bit about, I know you also do some shadow work, and that's fairly,
Yes.
a little bit about that.
Sure. So I have a shadow work program that I offer to my clients, and it's a mixture of some of the services that I offer. Primarily, when I started my own shadow work journey, it was hard. It was a struggle. And then I signed up for a mentorship program for shadow work with my mentor at that time, and it opened my eyes to so many different opportunities. But I take my program and go a little bit deeper into the core of the person, and I tailor the program to that individual person. So someone who have a background, um, with abuse may not be able to relate to a program that's specifically just general. So I have my clients do homework every week. It's a 6-week program, and we dive into things that happened to them as a child. We talk about their fears, their doubts, how to overcome those fears. I give them different challenges and how to overcome different obstacles. And the program is basically just going into your dark side of yourself. A lot of times we don't want to tap into our dark side because we feel like we should always be in a light. But I feel like there's a balance. You know, we have to have light and dark together. So going into that dark side will help you bring more light out of you. When I started my journey myself with my shadow work, I literally, everything about me changed. I saw myself in a different light. My confidence grew. So I help different clients if they need to increase their confidence. I help different clients if they have different triggers, because triggers can show up in work dynamics in the workplace. It can show up in friendship dynamics, romantic relationships. And so I just teach people how to maneuver through that process and just deal with the hardcore of what's been causing them grief throughout their lives and help bring them that peace.
Wow, that's impressive. So
Thank you.
I guess initially there, you said the 6-week program. So there is I guess a base type, a basic, then you tailor it to the needs of the people.
Yes.
And is that also available various places? Is that you have to go to a place for that type of work?
So I offer remote services mostly, but I do have clients that come in person. I do travel to some clients as well. It just all depends on where the client's located. I do have some clients in New Jersey where I live, so some of them want me to travel to them, and so I travel to them. But then others who are out of the state, like I have clients in Texas and Illinois, it's kind of hard for them to travel. So I offer those remote options for them. But even in the services, regardless of it's remote or not, they can still feel the impact.
Wow, that's impressive. So
Thank you.
it sounds like a lot of things that you, based on your own experiences, you kind of inspired yourself to do these things. Who inspires you?
So my ancestors, my ancestors inspired me. I think about some of the challenges some of them had when they were here and how I want to overcome and break as many generational curses that I can. And I've been successful at breaking a lot of generational curses, and I want to continue not only to break generational curses, but to bring in that generational healing, that generational wealth, that generational peace to my next line and the line after that, so that we don't have to keep going through the same cycles.
Tell me a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about generational curses. Tell me what that
Sure.
is.
So generational curses for me in my life, growing up, when I was younger, no one in my like immediate family really graduated high school without being pregnant.
Okay.
My mom had me at 16. Her mom had her at 15 or 16.
Okay.
And, it goes on and on and on. And so for me, I decided in my mind, I was not going to have any children until I was an adult. And so I didn't have my first child until I was 23. So that's just one of the generational curses that I was able to break in my line. Another generational curse for me, and I'm just going to give examples for me because every person's life is different
Right.
and someone may not consider it a curse. So I don't want to put a stigma on others. So I'll talk about me specifically. Another generational curse for me was being able to go to college. My mom didn't finish high school. Her mom barely made it through high school, but I was able to go to college and graduate. No one in my family prior in my line were homeowners. I was able to break that curse to show my children that home ownership is where we should be in certain aspects of our lives. So those are just examples of generational curses in my life. But someone else may have a generational curse where someone is just always drinking alcohol and they can't function throughout the day, or they may be a drug addict. Another generational curse I broke was being addicted to drugs. A lot of people in my family were addicted to drugs. I didn't want to go that route. So I think it's important for people to just examine their family dynamics, see what it is that this generation did before you, then a generation before you. And if those aren't really good, healthy coping mechanisms, how can you break those cycles in order for you to have a more peaceful life and pass that on to the next generation?
Amazing. Very amazing.
Thank you.
So I want to shift gears a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your sound healing. What is that?
Sound healing is so amazing. I absolutely love it. So basically, sound healing is I use different tools. I may use a drum, and the drum has a different frequency depending on what that person's working on. I also have something called a rain stick. The rain stick can bring healing and peaceful vibrations to you. And my favorite sound healing are my crystal bowls and my crystal pyramid. So I have a collection of crystal bowls. Each bowl represents a different chakra in the chakra system. And as I play each bowl, it actually opens up those chakras and allow them to become balanced within that person. That healing is so amazing because you instantly start connecting to the frequencies as you hear it and feel it. And as you hear and feel those frequencies, you start to feel the weights lift off of you.
How long does something like that take? Well, how long is a session?
So it just depends on the person and what they want. I have sessions 15 minutes up to 30-minute sessions for sound healing.
Wow, that sounds impressive. I don't know a whole lot. It sounds like something to do. So when you actually administer, so I hear you say you have the different tools. How do you actually use it?
So the bowls, they're like really, really big. I wish I can show you one of them, but you put them on the floor and they're kind of level to the ground. And so sometimes I'll have my clients lay right in front of the bowls. Sometimes I'll have them lay on the couch right near the bowls, depending on where we are. And as you just meditate and close your eyes and focus on just the sound, that actually helps bring in that peaceful energy. And I've had clients where I've played the bowl for just about a minute and they start seeing the colors of the chakra that I'm playing the bowl for. I did a conference for a healing expo in Philadelphia, and I was playing the heart chakra bowl. And one of my clients said she started to see the color green as I was playing the bowls, and she never experienced that before.
Wow, wow. And so the healing, depending on if I'm hearing you correctly, the bowl or the color or the chakras associated, that will be stimulated in some way. That's where the healing occurs. Is
Yes.
is it safe to say that also that's probably where, in the word of healing, that person may discover that sound? Maybe you may have a heart issue and it's kind of where it needs to be stimulated, and that's where the healing begins.
Yes, exactly that way. So say for example, if someone has a closed heart chakra, they may not be able to receive love because they're closed off.
Wow.
And as they're closed off, they want to be open, but they don't know how to be open. So when I play the bowls, I play all 7 chakra bowls. And each person's going to see something different.
Hmm.
Each person is going to feel something different in their body. Some people get vibrations, some people get goosebumps, some people feel warm sensations in their bodies. And when that happens, I ask them, where do they see it? Another thing I do with the sound bowls is I speak affirmations as I'm playing the bowls over the person or the group. So if we're working on the heart chakra, I'll talk about I am open to receive love. I receive all of the love that belongs to me. I do not resist love. I am a loving person. Different things like that, just so that it can trigger that part of themselves in their chakra system to kind of open that heart chakra so that they can feel loved in that moment.
That's amazing. So let me ask you about moving forward.
Sure.
What's next? What's next for you?
It's so much that's going on. I'm so excited. I'm currently a part of a competition called Fabulous Over 40. And so basically, they pick women across the country that are 40 years old and older, and they just talk about the different things that they have accomplished in their lives. And they choose a winner at the end of the competition. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. So basically, the competition is based on votes. So each person is able to vote every day for free. Someone can also make a donation, and the donation would double the vote. So if you made a donation of $1, it would give me 2 votes. But that donation also goes to breast cancer awareness. So
Wow.
I'm super excited to participate because I have so many people I know close to me that have been affected by breast cancer. Um, at the end of the competition, the winner will win $40,000 cash. They will also win a trip for 2 for a spa vacation for a week. And they will also win a photo shoot, and they will also win a spread in New Beauty magazine. And that's one of the magazines that Cindy Crawford was on.
Wow. That's something else. Wow. Well, let's hope that works out for you. You sure got my vote.
Thank
And
you.
when does that actually, when you find out it's actually whoever won, when is that supposed to come out?
So voting starts October 9th, 2023. And then the last date for voting is December 14th, 2023. So they should announce the winner probably around January of 2024.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So let's shift gears. You just kind of segue. I'm also interested a little bit about Reiki. So tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about that.
Reiki energy healing is one of my favorite services as well, because it helps people get to the deep parts of themselves without me doing anything besides sending them the energy. And so I'm certified as a quantum Reiki energy healer. And so basically, there are different energies that I call forth to me, and I put those energies in my hand. As I put the energies in my hand, I can send them virtually, or I can touch the person if they are okay with me touching them, or I can just hover over them and send the energy that way. So when someone receives Reiki energy healing, it can be for multiple different reasons. It can be for anxiety, it can be for depression, it could be because they're overwhelmed and they just need to calm down. It can be for physical pain in the body. It actually heals physical pain in the body. It also helps with trauma. It helps with so many different variations to see clearly and focus yourself. So I had a client 2 weeks ago, about a week ago, and I performed Reiki at her home, and she had a lot of neck pain and back pain because she had back surgery. So when I performed the Reiki services to her, afterwards, she was like, I just feel so calm. I just feel so peaceful. And after that night she slept, she said she slept like a baby and the pain was gone out of her neck. I did a group Reiki energy healing session, and one of my clients had a pain in their neck for 5 years that did not go away. After the one group session, the pain was gone. So it can help. And it also gives you visions. Like sometimes when I'm providing Reiki energy services to a client, they may get visions from events that happened when they were a child.
Wow.
And as they're seeing these events that's happened as they're a child, I'm talking to that client and walking them through this process. So then say if they were afraid of dogs and they didn't understand why they were afraid of dogs, then they have a vision of a dog trying to attack them when they were 2 or 3 years old. That's the root of it. So my goal is to get to the root of what's causing whatever pain or difficulty in your life, to kind of get you past it to move on to healing something else.
So impressive. It sounds
Thank
like
you.
you're so well rounded, and it sounds like if I step back, just the idea of you have such an array of healing types,
Thank
and
you.
that's so impressive. So, how does one get to reach you? How do we get to reach out to you if we want to use your services?
Sure. So you can go to my website, which is www.survivornotbychance.com. And we are offering a special for first time visitors. Say, for example, if you've never had your Akashic records read, that's something we didn't talk about today, but the Akashic records readings, we're providing 10% off. So you can go ahead and get 10% off there. I also have some products and services on there as well. So come on and join me.
Well, since you brought it up, tell me a little bit about. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I've heard that. Tell me more.
So Akashic Records is basically a library of your life cycles. Many of us have been here multiple times before, and some of us, this may be our first lifetime. And so, say, for example, if someone has challenges with money in this lifetime, and they want to do a Akashic Records reading to see why they're having an issue with money. I had one client wanted to do the Akashic Records reading for money, to see what's going on, why she has challenges with obtaining money and keeping money in this life. And so basically we found out that her lineage was from like a very small village. They weren't used to exchanging of money. And so her mindset with money, it didn't seem like it was necessary. So
Mhm.
we had to help her. So when I do Akashic record readings, I actually help that client fix the challenge. Some people do the Akashic records readings and just give you information, and then they have you come back for you to fix it. So we were able to fix the challenge she had around money. And now she's able to be open to money, open to receiving money. She started receiving abundance in multiple different ways. Um, I remember when I first did my own Akashic records reading, I had an issue in regards to love. And it wasn't even just romantic love, it was just it was self-love as well. So I had to go in and see why I was having those issues. And I found out the challenges that I had was because I think I might have cheated on somebody in the past life. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now, but it was an issue where either I cheated or my partner cheated. And so I had these trust issues all around love. So I had to fix and correct that and let myself know this is not this, my past life does not affect my current life. I have to learn to receive love and be open to trust and healing that part of myself. And I was able to do that. So I was so happy about that.
Wow. So these records, there could be, so you could have challenges that affect you now.
Yes.
And is that when, like in the past life, I guess there's some similarity there. So then you would go to that record, figure out what went wrong, I guess adjust the record from that standpoint, and then you kind of bring it forward to the present.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So say the easiest way to explain is like with money. So if there's an issue with money in the past life and um, they're not used to currency, they're used to trading of goods, like bartering for services, bartering for products. So if that's your whole lineage, sometimes when you come to this lifetime, it's hard for you to get used to the currency that we have here currently.
Okay.
So I would go in with that person and maybe we'll give one of their ancestors a coin, like a silver coin. And as I'm doing it, literally, my clients are telling me what they're seeing, and I'm seeing exactly what they're seeing at the same time. It's such an amazing experience.
Wow. I'm definitely gonna have to do that one.
Yes, let me know. I got you.
Yes. Well, it has been outstanding. You are so impressive, Asia. I just can't tell you. I'm just so impressed by you. Well,
Thank you.
audience, it's been my honor, it's our honor as to have Asia Carroll as our guest. You can reach her on www.survivornotbychance.com. You see she has an array of so many products and services. I encourage you all to really embrace that. She's clearly about healing, and I hope that you, just as I have a lot of joy out of today's interview, that I'm sure you will too. So that concludes this chapter of Meeting at the Crossroad. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Was that good? Stop. Okay.